Hi there everybody, welcome back to the Arts Department. Today's video is the full time-lapse of the tiefling shorts that I've been posting over in the shorts area. Thought you might want to see something a little bit more in-depth so that you can see the types of marks that were being made and that sort of thing. I'm not going to talk about too much about what I was doing, maybe here and there, but we're going to talk about some other concepts around art and being an artist and advice you get from people. So let's get into it. Here we are at the beginning of the entire process. What I'm going to talk about really quickly is the process, and then we're going to, after we get into the rendering, talk more about some concepts behind being an artist and taking advice and that sort of thing. So here we go. First steps are just to get in there and do some pencil drawing, do some sketching around, and find the shapes that are interesting and that play off of one another, where you have big, medium, and small shapes that give the eye places to rest. That's why you see the big shapes of the hair and the big planes of the face. And once you have those all worked out, just jump right into the inking and try and get some interesting marks. Keep your hand moving quickly, yet confidently. And that's what allows you to get the cool looking marks. Always undo if you can. If you're not inking on paper, you can always undo. If you're inking on paper, you can always use whiteout or gouache or something like that to paint over it. So regardless of the media, you do have the opportunity to redo whatever you're doing if you need to. Confidence comes with time though, and practice. So get in there and do a lot of work, and it'll get easier and easier, and you'll have more and more confident lines, and you'll be able to jump in there and do some beautiful work. Then I'm just going to drop in some base colors and start filling in colors and getting everything flatted out, doing the flat colors, and then color in the lines. With traditional media, that's a little bit harder. You want to think in advance about what your lines are going to be, and during the inking you would do that with different colored inks or different colored acrylic or something like that. With digital, you just link your layers using a clipping mask and color out the line itself that you just drew. And then I'm going to come in and do some shadow shapes. This is basically just an overlay layer. And then I kind of experimented and found the colors that worked, and then put some lights in the upper corner and some darks down below, and then started playing around to kind of give it some light bleed and some interest and some color variation to her skin. Then hit in there with some highlights and clean some things up and put some glow in there, and that was it. And we're gonna move into the rendering. Oh, hi. I just want to say, do all this stuff, do all the things, and get notified. Thanks for your support. Back to it. So now that we're jumping into the rendering, you can see I changed the background to black, and I'm just starting to move some stuff around. I'm using some painterly brushes and kind of erasing a bunch of the lines through paint. So I'm just sampling directly off of the canvas all of the work that I already did, and using that as the basis for the brush marks. And that's the entire basis for it. So from here on out, it's just noodling it and refining it. That being said, this is my process. This is one that I developed for myself, and I enjoy it. It works for me, and it may work for you. Give it a try. And if it doesn't, there's plenty of other processes out there. I would say it's my advice to you. The steps that I go through are my advice on how to get a finished drawing. And that being said, be careful whose advice you take. Many people think that they understand art, myself included, and they can set you down a path that isn't right for you as an artist. And very likely they will. You may find yourself doing something where it's just counterproductive to where you want to go as an artist. You may find yourself getting advice from people that don't understand who you are as an artist and the trajectory of what you want to do. If you want to be an animator and somebody is a painter, they may have some fundamental skills that could be useful to you, but they're not going to understand how to become an animator. They're not going to understand the particular form of study that it's going to take to become an animator. They're not going to understand the stylistic choices you need to make as an artist. And that's okay, because you can pick and choose the advice that you get. You may not know until after the fact, and you may need to go through the motions of getting the advice of somebody that's been doing it in other fields or in related artistic fields, or advice from somebody that is absolutely unrelated, somebody that just has a broader scope on life and success. You may find that somebody outside of art has a business sense that helps you to better your business skills as an artist. Again, be careful whose advice you take when it comes down to this stuff, because everybody has opinions, but not everybody's opinions are valid. And I find that frequently everybody had a different path, and I've gone over this before in other videos, but their path may not be right for you, and you need to find your own path. And quite frequently, the way that one finds one's own path is to pick their way through the options to find the thing that helps them to flourish the most. So you can go out there and you can get advice. You can get people looking at your work, looking at the way that you do things, but make sure to take everything that they say with a grain of salt. Measure it against what you've heard before. Give it a try. See how it feels. If it fits with your life and your trajectory as an artist and your path, then maybe incorporate it. And it may not fit forever either. If it does, it may be one of those things where you give it a try for a while, it works, you're excited, and eventually as an artist you need to move on and try new things to continue to feel excited about art and about the things that you're doing. And be thankful for that and use that as a stepping stone to your next advancement and the next one and the next one. It's that you move up, you go through the plateau, and you get to the next level, and you look around and you get some advice, and you move up and you get to the next plateau, and it just keeps on going as an artist. And quite frequently you leave some of those artistic concepts behind as you move, but be thankful for them because they got you to that step. That's about it from the arts department, everyone. Keep drawing, and we'll see you next time.